So let me show you how I make a dress top. I cut out a template. This is the one we're going to be using today, which looks like this. I cut it out, and then you roll out your fondant, and you place your template over and use an X-Acto knife and cut this out. See, these are my different styles that I've created myself for dress tops. And all you would do to make this, and this is something you have to do like about 24 hours in advance because you need it to dry. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll it out. It has a little bit of chocolate in it, but we're not using this, so don't worry about it. And then you would take your template, place it over, and then with an X-Acto knife, you're going to come in and cut the rest of it out. If you want a pattern in it, I suggest putting the pattern in first. So you would take a pattern, press it, press it, press it, press it, press it. Now watch, it's going to stick. You know what that's like, it stinks. And I'm going to gently peel it back. Okay, so now I have a pattern. And once again, you place this over, and with an exact...
Blair Witch.
Sorry, we had a Blair Witch moment. And then we use our X-Acto knife, and then all I do is I cut out the design. I couldn't live without an X-Acto knife. I think everyone says that. Once you do that, once you cut it out, you have your top. Now, it has to dry. So I put it on a piece of like a wax paper or parchment paper, and I let it sit for at least 24 hours. Now, halfway through, I get impatient, so I'll turn it over. That way, it starts to dry the back, too. So in order to figure out, okay, whereabouts do I want it, how am I going to do this? You take your dress top once it's hard, and you kind of play around with where you think it should go. I have some chocolate on it, but that's no problem. I kind of like it where the folds are really seen. So what I do is I take it and I rock it back and forth to make an impression. As you can see, I left an indentation right here from my dress top, which was dried. And that gives me a guide to where I'm going to be placing my dress. So what I do then is I take a knife and I go straight down, like so. Now, this is important. If you cut on an angle, a lot of us do that without even noticing. You want to cut it straight down because then your top's going to be crooked. So be mindful of that because there's a lot of times I've cut it and I'm like, what was I? Must have been on an angle that day for some reason. Okay, and then you check. Make sure that works. I'm going to just make it a little bit larger. You're not even going to notice. There you go. And then I take the dress and I insert it gently so you don't break it. So you just wasted 24 hours. Oh, and it's always good to make two because, like me, I break stuff. Okay. Okay, there it is so far. So you can kind of start to see the dress come to life. But the next thing we have to do is we need something to cover this part here, the band. So I'm going to take some pink fondant and I'm going to roll it out. I'm actually going to do this. You want to see a really cool trick? Let me put this down. Taking a cake smoother. You go back and forth. You're going to roll yourself a pretty even roll. Because if you go like this, you see your knuckles are going to make small and large and small and large, and it looks all wonky. So, perfect. And then what I do is I just kind of measure up where is it going to go. It's going to go around like that. Okay, I like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use water with a paintbrush. So it has something to stick to. Like that. And then I'm going to attach my band. Beautiful. And I check to make sure it's even. And I always like to put something in the middle, so I'm going to make a button. Now, Christina showed me this morning. I was like, what kind of button am I going to do? So she said, wait a minute. I have an idea. And that's exactly what she said.
Yes, that's how I talk, exactly.
Exactly. She said, hold
Wait,
on.
Sherlock.
My light bulb went off.
Ding, ding, ding.
So she took the fondant, and we have, this is a first impressions mold you can buy on any online store. This is not a commercial or any kind of endorsement. Okay, so all we need to add is a little button here. So what I'm going to do is take a little piece of fondant, like that, and I shouldn't need much. And as I said, Christina thought the middle of this flower would make a perfect button. So I'm going to take it and press it in. And these are the best things about the first impression molds. And you can really bend them and they come out great. A charming button. So here's this little middle that came out of the first impressions mold. It looks fabulous. And I have a little bit of water that I'm going to add. And then all I'm going to do is adhere this little beautiful button to the dress. And if you want, you can really go crazy. You could put these all over the dress. You can do a little monogram up here to make it extra special. And if you, as you can see, it fits in the palm of my hand. This is a great gift and an awesome dessert, and no one will ever forget you, and they're going to think you're Superwoman and the most talented person in the world. So thanks to Christina's button and my dress design, you're going to be a hero. You'll be famous, basically.
Everybody wants to be famous.
If you don't want to be famous, then don't make these. But this is the dress design, so much you can do with it. Have a blast and post your dresses for me so I can see what you all are doing out there. Later.